Chapter 12. Oh, I'd rather be with Queen Victoria in London. The London Conference was also a time to celebrate Christmas in London with Her Imperial Majesty Queen Victoria. Queen Victoria is celebrated to be the mother of Confederation, as she signed the British North America Act into law, and thus created the beginning of Canada. As part of the Christmas celebrations, all the fathers of Confederation returned to Queen Victoria, some of whom were being formally presented to Her Majesty for the second time. These men were Alexander Tillage Gold, George Cartier, both of whom were knighted by Queen Victoria after the London Conference was over. She also knighted Dr. Charles Tupper, Samuel Notilly, John M. Macdonald, and George Brown, as well as the lesser-known fathers of Confederation, which included William McDougall, Dr. Adams George Archibald, William Alexander Henry, and Charles Fisher. Most of these men went on to become very famous or very obscure outside their respective areas or regions which they were from. In fact, two of them, Sir Samuel Notilly and Dr. Charles Tupper, wanted to do great things, yet they are pretty much unknown outside of the maritime provinces. So the fact remains that pretty much all the fathers of Confederation, no matter how important they were locally in their respective colonies, were still gentlemen of low birth by European standards. So being knighted by Her Imperial Majesty Queen Victoria meant they were recognized as high-ranking gentlemen and men of great importance in Canada, but also meant they were considered gentlemen by the British aristocracy, even though they were at the very bottom when it came to the levels of aristocracy in Britain. Today we would think that Her Imperial Majesty Queen Victoria was just a constitutional figurehead of a monarch, in that she was a ceremonial figurehead for his empire at home and abroad. In truth, Queen Victoria was far more than that. For starters, she actually had real, tangible political powers. For example, she once blocked a change in government because of the fact that that would have upset her domestic arrangements. In 1841, Queen Victoria married the love of her life, Prince Albert, and they had 9 children, 4 boys and 5 girls. Prince Albert, or Bertie, as Victoria and her family called him, very quickly worked himself to death and died of typhoid fever in 1861. As a result of the death of her husband, Queen Victoria went into everlasting mourning, and she only ever wore a black dress for the next 45 years. Queen Victoria is also the second longest serving British monarch in history. She ruled from 1837 until 1901, a reign of 64.5 years. Only her great-great-great-granddaughter, Queen Elizabeth II, had broken that record, as she was on the throne since 1982 to 2022, which is over 70 years. Queen Victoria is also the only monarch in Canadian history to have a permanent holiday named after her on May 24th, which is her birthday. Canadians celebrate the birthday of the reigning monarch on that day, regardless of whether it is their birthday or not. Although Queen Victoria never actually visited Canada, different members of her family did. Her father was Lieutenant Governor of Nova Scotia. Her oldest son, later Edward VII, visited Canada 5 times during his lifetime. One of Queen Victoria's grandsons, the Duke of Devonshire, was to become the Governor General of Canada from 1911 to 1916.